Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another HFY narration. Today, we will be reading 100 Terran ships, made by u/WegianWarrior. Thanks for the writer's permission. The link for the story is in the description, and I hope you'll enjoy. Let's begin. Bajos Beidou hurried along the corridors, huffing and puffing as she hurried up a ramp and turned a corner into the office of Viceroy Jean-Claude Baku. She sketched out a perfunctory curtsy as she placed a report on Jean-Claude's overwrought desk. Jean-Claude looked up and acknowledged Bajos with the tiniest dip of his tendrils. Viceroy, 100 Terran ships have appeared near Potrarion in the Nirda sector. Contact has already been established with the local hierarchy. Jean-Claude paused for a second as he pondered. Terran Seneschal Bajos. 100 ships full, Viceroy. Terran Seneschal? Apologies, Viceroy, that is what they call themselves. They come from... Bajos hurriedly looked through her notes. Oxlox 13583, or, as the Terrans apparently call it, soil. Oxlox. Jean-Claude stared emptily up at the ceiling, tendrils moving aimlessly. Bajos muttered something under her breath before she sidled over the map of the quadrant hanging on one wall and pointed with a talon. This one, Viceroy Jean-Claude. Bajos waited as Jean-Claude unfolded himself from behind the desk and scuttered over the map, peering first at the star system Bajos was pointing at and then at the legend on the map. That one, Seneschal? Yes, Viceroy, the Terrans were adamant that this is their home. But how? According to this map, their home is lacking adamantium, fraudulin, solaronite, and verterium cortinide, to the best of our knowledge. Remote sensing has shown no trace of either, Bajos admitted, and we had the results checked before I came to you. But you need those elements to build a drive, and a lot of them to build 100 drives. Yes, Viceroy, the need for those elements were the very reason for the Principali's war against... Jean-Claude dismissed the digression with a click of a talon, still studying the map. And even if they should scrape enough of them together, Seneschal Bajos, the aether density in the region is significantly too low to sustain a stable FTL bubble, or is the map wrong? Viceroy, this map is made by the Principali's finest cartographers, based on the best information available in the known galaxy. And yet, these Terrans from Soil have arrived at Potrarion, where they should not be able to go. Yes, Viceroy Jean-Claude, with 100 ships. How, Seneschal? And perhaps we should also ask why. Bajos chewed on a tendril for a second. Well, Viceroy, the current hypothesis is that the Terrans somehow rip a hole in the fabric of the universe. Jean-Claude looked at Bajos in disbelief. A hole in the universe? How? And how would that make them reach Potrarion? It shouldn't be possible, and yet somehow the Terrans insist that they can slip outside the universe to go rip a hole back into it somewhere else. The laws of nature and magic don't allow that. Jean-Claude stared questioningly at Bajos. Bajos rolled her shoulders. From what we can tell, the Terrans have bullied the laws of nature into submission and just ignored the laws of magic. That was the end of the story. Thank you so very much to Commodore Goat for having been supporting me on Patreon prior to this video. And thank you all for listening. I'm glad to still have you here. Now a little talk time. First, my bad, it has been a while. At first, I was fiddling around with the previously mentioned video ideas and recorded and edited 3 one-hour videos, but decided they weren't matching to the channel's theme and that they weren't special. As in, when compared to other people's work, since playing a game and narrating it is apparently quite common, I know, shocker, it wasn't very special. So I ended up deleting them. Which, in hindsight, was not a good idea, because it made me feel bad and I felt a bit lost on what to do next, and rather drained. So I decided to take a break that extended to a very long time, after which I decided to go back, only to be met with a rather long-lasting cold. One which where even after recovery I kept on coughing every time I spoke, thus adding to my disappearance. However, I believe I'm somewhat back in the game again, and I hope I can upload more narrations for you guys, as I really do want that. With that out of the way, for the few people who cared, this was a very fun read, in my own opinion. I was planning to do some Russian accent on Bajos, but I was not really sure if I should have done that because that guy did have a lot of voice lines and I was not really sure how the reception on that would have turned out, so do let me know in the comments down below if you're fine with silly accents, the Russian kind or the British kind and whatnot. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed, and if you have stuck around, go and show your appreciation to the writer on HFY. I hope you're having a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.